Has anybody seen the movie Madagascar? I like to move it, right? Same type of animal. But they don't have any red-ruffed lemurs in them. They have a lot of ringtails and Busch Gardens. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about how I started. As I scratch Zennie here. Get him all nice and comfortable. There you go. I started with just being interested in animals. I would wake up early, watch those nature shows, you know, Jack Hanna, Steve Irwin, talk to my parents, like, oh, I love Steve Irwin, that's what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be like Jack Hanna, I want to be like Jeff Corwin. So, because I talked my parents' ears off, they tried to enroll me in tons of programs that involved biology-based curriculum, whether it was camps, vocational schools, a wide variety of things. And one camp that sort of kind of springboarded my interest in working with animals was with the University of South Carolina. It was a rehab and rehabilitation center for sea turtles. It was a research center for sea turtles. And we were on the coast of South Carolina, and we got to relocate sea turtle nests off the beach of Fripp Island. And I can actually tell you the exact moment was when it was the first trip. I went for several years working with those guys. It was the first trip, the first night. We were lucky enough to actually see a mother loggerhead sea turtle come off the beach, crawl up the beach front, lay her nest, cover that nest up, walk all the way back home, or not walk, crawl back into the beach, but to never see her kids again. And we relocated the nest, went back to the headquarters, called my parents up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Mom, Dad, you wouldn't believe what I got to do. Ah! And it was from that moment on, I told my parents, I'm going to do something with animals. Went to college at the University of North Carolina at Wilmington. When I was there, I immersed myself with everything that I could, whether it was volunteering at the local aquarium, being a part of the Marine Mammal Stranding Network, assisting researchers with their research, pretty much just a research monkey. Go do this, go do that. And luckily, I graduated with a degree with marine biology and chemistry, but I decided one last summer to work at camp. In particular, summer camp over at Busch Gardens. I was hired by Linda. I know, stretch. Oh, there we go, right there. And I got to take kids, like you guys, to our zoo areas. In particular, working with lions and our primates, our gorillas and chimps. And I got to show kids what it takes and what we're all about over there, about education and conservation, and what it takes to become a zookeeper. And it's not just the fun and getting to scratch on animals and love on them, but it's also cleaning up after them, taking care of them, making sure that their homes are clean, that they're enriched with fun toys constantly, because they need to be mentally stimulated as well as physically stimulated. And I realized that I love Busch Gardens so much, even though I got a degree in marine biology and I could have gone to SeaWorld, Busch Gardens felt like a right fit for me. Got a job as an elephant trainer, training Asian elephants for several years. Got to learn about positive reinforcement training and enrichment and how to properly use those when you're working with animals. Oh, there it is. There's a nice little monkey. And then, but I realized that education was really my passion. I love talking to guests. Oh, there. Oh, just keep on scratching those in. I realized that education was my true passion. Working with animals was a bunch of fun, but educating guests and educating kids about how important it is to conserve and keep these animals alive, and how important it is to the ecosystem and the biodiversity of the world around us. And I get to work now in the education department with a wide variety of animals. Zennie is one of them, a southern ground hornbill. You can see some photos up there. Eagles, great horned owls, servals, echidnas. I don't know if you guys know what echidna. A wide variety of fun reptiles, mammals, and birds.
Who else has questions? How and where do your park parks acquire the animals you get, especially the marine life?
That is a great question. We have, especially with our marine life, a very, very successful breeding program. So a lot of the animals that you see at our parks have been born, hatched, whatever, at our parks. But we also work, like I said, with other zoological institutions for breeding purposes. A lot of these animals that are SSP animals or that are ones that we are keeping for the government. The government a lot of time decides that that animals need to move for breeding. We have a lot of rescued animals, a lot of our marine life, a lot of our dolphins, sea lions, sea turtles. A lot of those animals have been rescued. We have, like I said, been rescuing animals for over 40 years, over 23,000 animals at this point. So when we rescue animals, our goal 100% of the time is to rehabilitate them and return them back out into the waters. But unfortunately, that's not always the case, and that decision is not made by us. That decision is made by the government and the bodies that oversee those types of species. And so when they decide that animals are not able to be released, we provide lifelong homes for them.
So when you guys, so when you guys go around the world to other zoos or parks and you breed them, is it dangerous to breed two different animals from two different continents?
Are they the same species? Is that what?
Yeah.
If they're the same species, as long as, I mean, we'll
We don't usually breed so much internationally unless the need is there, and if that need is there, that is usually with sometimes the marine mammals, and that decision is, like I said, made by the SSP programs and by the governing agencies. But you know, the breeding programs that we have set up, a lot of these animals mate for life and choose one mate. So we keep those together and we keep them happy and breeding in their homes.
How much training does one need to dive with penguins?
To dive with penguins, you just have to love the cold. I mean, well, we have our scuba certification that you get. I mean, any of you can go out and get scuba certified. We also have beyond that specialized training to dive in those enclosures. And you also got to know the animals and their habitats.